What's going on, YouTube? My name is FG3000. I'm back in the place to be, and welcome back to a game whose title I can't quite pronounce, but you guys can see it in the title, so there you go. Now, I actually covered this game when it was in beta. The game technically still is in beta, but now it's in a no-wipe beta. So if you guys want to play this game today, you don't have to worry about losing your progress, so there you go. Now, this game has actually had quite a transformation from its previous beta until now. So let's just jump right into combat so I can show you kind of the most important change that has occurred in this game. So we'll just go over here, we'll take my squad, and we'll take you, and you. Now, when this game was in the first beta that I covered, it was basically an idle game. Like, you had no control over your characters whatsoever. You would have a team of 6, and they would just basically attack on their own. Now that has actually changed. So now you have a team of 4, and you can actually select your ability. So if I want to use this ability, I can actually use it. I can use this to heal everyone. I can use this to AoE. I can use this to AoE, and I can do everything manually if I choose to. Of course, auto is still an option, but before it just seemed really kind of out of place for this game to only be an idle game with no manual control whatsoever. So that's changed, and that's a very, very big change. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it on auto just for the sake of this video. There is some, I mean, it really depends on what you're fighting. Some of the bosses absolutely do require you to play manually. There are quite a few stages that you don't want to burn your big abilities. Like, so if you look at this round right here, I'm on round 2 of 3. I probably don't want to use my big AoEs in the second round. I want to save them for the third round. Of course, the AI will just use it whenever it's ready, so do keep that in mind. It's always going to be better with manual play in games like this, but if you're feeling a little lazy or if you're really powerful, just throw it on auto. So that is that. Now, of course, you know, the elephant in the room is the Persona 5 inspired UI, but that's right where the similarities end. This game does not take anything else really from Persona 5 other than the UI and maybe the out of this world character design, which I'll show you after we get done with this battle here. Unfortunately, you really can't adjust the camera. I wish you could maybe move the camera around at different angles, go and zoom in a little bit more dynamic camera. Maybe I'm just getting really spoiled because of Marvel Strike Force, but I wish the camera was just a little bit more free in a game like this, because these are some really interesting character designs that I want you to see, but I'm not going to be able to show you while they're in combat, unfortunately. All right. I love his ability, by the way. And there you go. Pretty straightforward. Like I said, the biggest change between the first beta and this beta is now that you also have manual control along with your auto control. So that is that. Thank you for the little puffy jacket. The first North Face jacket or whatever it is. So let's go ahead and talk about the characters here, because there are actually some pretty cool designs here. So actually, let's go to bag. That'd be the best place to show them off. So you get a lot of really cool characters for free when you start playing this game. Like this character right here, he's an SR, got him for free. You can view him in 3D as well as 2D. He's basically a guy that likes to throw poisonous potions at people, so that's pretty cool. We have there, of course, a little bit of Fate inspiredness there, 2D and 3D. Mozart, which is my favorite character in the game thus far, 2D and 3D. Fox, who is a really cool character. His attack is amazing. Florence Nightingale, who is this angelic nurse character, but she is a healer, obviously. 3D, or in 3D and 2D. There's Robin Hood, Zorro, James Watt, and as you can see, they kind of take inspiration from historical figures as well as mythological figures as well. There's Princess Sissy and Lala, who is a baller, literally a baller. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh snap! Look at that move, son. Oh, off the backboard, you gotta call that. And then we got Wood here, very cool. So as you can see, the character design is quite good. So the UI is good. It's very snappy. The character design is great, but overall, I gotta say, I didn't really have a lot of fun with this one. I gotta be completely honest. So let me tell you the reason why I don't really enjoy this title is that the hospital system is very herky-jerky. So as you can see in this video, I just did some combat, right? You saw me go here in chapter 3. I did stage 3-1. Now, if I want to do stage 3-3, I'm not gonna be able to pull that off because my HP does not regenerate outside of combat. So every single time you do some combat and you take damage, the damage that you take is sustained outside of combat. So you have to put them in a hospital. So as you can see, I have to wait a minute and 18 seconds to put them in the hospital. So they just sit there and regenerate. So the idea behind this is that you want to have multiple teams. So now that that team is in the hospital, I'm going to use team 2 and fight with this team instead. And when team 2's in the hospital, maybe I switch to 1 or maybe I switch to 3. The problem with that, however, is when you first start the game, you just don't have that many characters to do that. You really only have one strong team. So what you find yourself doing is do one stage, heal, one stage, heal, one stage, heal. Now, I know what they tried to do. Like, they tried to get rid of the whole stamina system that a lot of games do. But honestly, I prefer the stamina system because at least you can just play, right? Here, it's very herky-jerky gameplay, and I don't know. I just kind of, like, after doing it a few times, I'm just kind of just disconnected, and I really don't want to do it. Also, when speaking on the fact that they want you to have multiple teams, there's also content that kind of takes away your multiple teams as well. So there is a search mode, as you can see. So I have search. Hopefully this doesn't do it. I don't actually recall them. So I have a team that's on a dispatch mission. You guys have seen this in plenty of games before, where you send out your crew to go get materials for you, and you actually have to do these at least 5 per day in order to accomplish your daily. So right off the bat, you have a team that's always going to be gone because since you have to do 5 of these and you want to do the really good ones, right? So you want to do like the ones that are 2 hours and 5 hours. So in order to maximize this, you have to constantly be sending out your extra teams to do this. So you really only have one primary team that's constantly in and out of the hospital. In addition to that, you only have 3 spots for your hospital beds. So I can't even put my full team in there. I got to put my first 3 in, and then I got to put her in afterwards. There is an item that you can do that's called rapid treatment, but obviously those things are limited, so you don't want to just always do that. The way that you really want to do it is by putting them in the hospital. So that right there just kind of, I'm not a fan of it. I wish that they would, if they want to keep the stamina system, what they should do is do it like DC Unchained, where all of your characters have a stamina meter, but their HP regenerates every single battle. So you can still use them all the way up until your stamina runs out. Here, you can really only use your team one time if you're fighting, leveled content. You can only use them one time before they're back in the hospital. Like, it's just way too herky-jerky for me. In addition to that, the summoning system is a little weird. I'm not gonna say it's bad, but it's a little weird. So right now you're looking at the gacha system, for lack of a better word. Now, there are cupcakes and cookies and Rubik's Cubes and little, I don't know, canisters. And basically, there are codes in this game, and each one of these codes has a chance to generate a different character. So this code that I just made up, as you can see, I'm just randomly pressing things. This has a chance to create a character based off of this code right here. And you can actually look at what other people have done to see what their codes are. Now you see a lot of people doing like 900, that, like, just putting more in that's not the move, guys. That's not the move. But depending on what codes you put in, you can get different things. And here's a good example. See, these guys are putting 999 and everything. You can still get different things based off of that. There's no telling what you can do. But let's say you see something that, let's see, you want to pull an SR and you found a code that looks like it might be worth using. All of these are everyone's just pouring in 999. And that's not the move. That's actually not the move. As you can see, people are getting SRs without putting 999 in everything. So that is not the way to do it. But since the system is so bizarre, no one really knows what to do. So they're just doing stuff. So this guy right here is 777. I'm gonna take his code, apply it to mine, and I'm gonna just go ahead and manufacture one. So I'll come back in 4 hours and I'll see what I get. It's not necessarily going to be the thing that you just saw. Like that, you get a chance to have that, but that's not a guarantee to get that, as you can see. So quite a weird system. I don't know why they decided to be like, sometimes you can be unique, and you try to do something different, but I don't think there was any plus side to this system at all. It doesn't make the game more fun or anything like that. All the other systems are pretty straightforward. If you want to enhance your team, you can basically do that and feed them kind of fodder creatures like that. So that's pretty straightforward. Upgrading your star level, decomposing things, all those other things are pretty straightforward, but that, nah, not so much, not so much. So that's pretty much the game as it stands right now. I still have not unlocked the apartment. Formations are just here to set up the different teams for you. We've talked about the laboratory. Yes, I said laboratory on purpose. Shout out to Dexter's Lab. Hospital, we talked about in depth. The new exploration mode with the story. In my previous video, I showed you guys the explore mode, but I'll show you this again to kind of end this video. And of course, I showed you the search mode as well. So let's show you the explore. They've modified this just a little bit. For the better, and it's better than it was last time. I'm still not really a fan of this. So there's basically kind of a detective search mode type of choose your own adventure / point and click adventures type of game. So you can kind of walk around in this free zone here. And basically what you're doing is you're looking for clues, you're fighting creatures, you're doing things of that nature, and I don't know, it just seems out of place for me. So I can look at this newspaper and I can kind of look at it and see if there's anything interesting there, but there isn't. I can go inspect this dead body. Maybe there's something interesting here that I need. There will be times where you pick up a flashlight and the flashlight doesn't have any batteries, so you got to look around and find batteries. Sometimes things want to fight you, sometimes they don't, depending on who you have in your party. I mean, I see what they tried to do. And this kind of goes right back to the whole summoning thing. I see what they're trying to do, but just because it's unique doesn't mean it's fun. And I really hate to say that, because this is a Kickstarter project, believe it or not, that made its way on to mobile. They did a fantastic job going from the first beta to this beta, basically answering the cries for actual combat to be in the game. So they've done good, but I still think that they're trying to be too obtuse is the best word for it, for their own good. Some things just because they're different don't make them better. So that's just unfortunate. But like I said, the game is still in beta. I will check in on this game once it's actually fully launched. But considering that the game is now taking money, the game is not going to wipe your progress anymore. As far as I'm concerned, this is the launched product. As soon as they start taking money and they stop doing wipes, that is what I consider a launch. So that's that. So yeah, that's really all I have to say about this game, guys. Like I said, I've covered the game twice, so if you want more details, check out my first video. Since you've already checked this one out, check out the first one too. But that will do it. My name is FG3000. Thank you so much. And I do love the character designs. Like this zombie with a big old pipe with a police tape around it. Like I like the game's ideas and artwork. But I think they could have did it better. Like, here we go, little puzzle there, putting some electrical wires together, moving over here. Just seems a little outplaced. It's like a totally different game here, and I just don't think it syncs well together. All right, I think we're done. Let's go over here. Let's see. Like I've done this one before, but I failed it a little bit. There's a cute little dog. I think he wants to fight me. This is the guy that killed me last time, but I'm a little bit stronger this time, buddy boy. Look at this dog with this fitted cap on, gold chain. I mean, it pains me to not like this game, because I really want to like it, but I just didn't find it fun, unfortunately. But you might. I'm just one person. So definitely check the video, or not the video out, check the game out. Available on Android, probably on iOS as well, but as you know, I use Android, so I don't really keep too much track of what's going on in iOS. Once again, guys, my name is FG3000. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next video. Later.